Hello everybody, welcome to the newest update for a game I'm currently working on. It's been about a month since I last updated it, and I'm just kind of trying to show off some of the new features I've implemented, along with, if anybody's never actually seen this before, get them introduced to this. Right now what you're seeing isn't actually going to be part of the main game, it's just kind of where I test out a lot of basic stuff, namely moving platforms, getting them to work, and things like that. First and foremost, what I was discussing earlier, what I'm showing off is something called Alpha Run. It's kind of like a time trial obstacle course based off of a word of your choice. You type in a word and it generates a course of any size you want with any letter or character you want. Typically it's supposed to be based off words, so special characters such as exclamation marks and question marks will form the same generic kind of map, but everything else has its own custom mapping. And so I was going to show off a little bit of that today, as well as show off some of the new features I've implemented since the last update. So like I said, you could do any letter you want in the alphabet. We could do, I've done before my favorite word, boondoggle. Let's do Persephone, because Latin was fun. That screen you saw before this one was actually just, it's something I haven't bothered changing. It's basically going to be the loading screen. All I gotta do is implement a loading screen for that, and then you'll probably never see it again. But if you look here, you can see the entirety of the map. We got a starting point at the very beginning. Every single part's roofed off. The only part you'll actually die on, outside of specific kill blocks, which this level doesn't seem to have, lucky me, is by just falling off the bottom. Both at the start and at the checkpoints, if you die after passing those, you'll pretty much spawn right back where you were. And over here is the end. I don't have a sprite for that one yet. It's just kind of using a very obvious and obnoxious color, namely this orange that I really like. So let's get to it. Let's see if I can run this for you so I can show you some of the other stuff. As you notice, I have a timer. It actually only starts whenever you pass the starting sign. And if you see down here, while the path may indicate that you should be going to the top, if there's no wall there, that's actually kind of intended. It's so that in the case, wow, I fail. In the case that you just happen to get lucky, you can just kind of go over. And fragile blocks, they will break on the left, right, and bottom. I think it's also set to the top. I'm not sure off the top of my head yet. That's a glitch I need to fix. And that. Yeah, it's kind of glitching where I can go I can go through walls. I actually know how to do it myself if I wanted to. Like, I can intentionally glitch the levels. Right now, that's not what I'm actually working to fix. What I'm working to fix is getting the actual back end things to work properly. Ah, crap. Well, luckily, got this checkpoint. As you can see, been going on for a minute. Kind of sucks. Shorter words probably will take a couple seconds to beat. In my testing, I mostly used the word Bob. That one took about 15 seconds to beat on average. And here I'll show you me glitching through the wall. Like I said, not intended, but I can, and until I fix it, I've been using it to speedrun my own random levels. And right here. So the ending doesn't have many variants, but no matter what, you'll be able to exit through the ending. Here's a little level completion screen I made. Not the most beautiful. I only have access to Paint right now. I don't have Photoshop or anything, but it's something simple. It shows you the time you had, and you can either redo the level or go to the central hub and save your score. If you redo it, won't save your score. It's a pretty bad score, but I'm going to save it anyway. So score is 142.80. This goes back to the central hub, which, again, just something temporary. Now, if you look here, we already have I just pulled this out of where it saves the files at. This was a test run I did earlier of just pushing random keys, Q, W, E, A, or at least this is the test one I used to fill out. As you can see, it has 99 hours, 99 minutes, all that bullshit. Next up, we got Ben. That was me testing my own name, just, you know, make sure all this works. And here's the one we just did, Persephone. Fills in right here. Now, let's see if we can beat one of our Ben times. Alright. And I don't know if I should glitch through like I did whenever I first did the bin. Because in all my testing, just to make sure the time system worked, I kind of glitched through a lot of things. But we're going to not glitch, which will probably make me lose my time. But it'll let you it'll also show that list sorting. So, save it. Now if you look at the previous time, we have 1920, 2058. Exit out, reopen, shows same things, bin, got 1920, 2058, and then the time I just did, 2103. So as you can see, it also automatically sorts it out. That's why I'm not really worried about all the other times on here. As you play through, it'll update this frequently enough to where pretty much any of these not real times will kind of just funnel out over time and leave you with your actual top score. It's kind of like the predetermined leaderboards on most other common racing games and such. My goal is to make some kind of online leaderboard and implement a way to actually show what your scores are on the top 10 scores on the actual completion screen. And furthermore, other things I planned is to implement a type of story mode and a tutorial for people who don't really play platforming games. That's something I'm working on. It hasn't been my priority because this alpha run mode has been my biggest priority. And until I finished that, I wasn't really worried about focusing on everything else. So anyway, like I said, this is just kind of an update to show you what I've all implemented so far, and here I'll show you a death block. It respawns me back at this map where it normally spawns. If I go to one that has a death block, let's try, it's typically the later letters I do. Let's try these. See if this has a death block. Oh, goody. We're just going to call this a death run. Let's give it a go. Most of these I should have tested out already to where making sure it's actually possible to beat. Oh man, I could just go over the top. I got lucky. Yeah, typically you would expect a wall to be right here, but luckily there aren't any. And I need to fix this little glitch area there, but like I said, a lot of these aren't necessarily intended to be final product. I'm going to go through and do a cleanup on pretty much every single one of these letters. And, ooh, jump. Yeah, do a cleanup on every single one of the letters. And, oh goody. So, like I said, checkpoints, they exist like every 5 levels, or every 5 characters. So sometimes you might get one at the very end. Haven't really worked that out yet. Again, it's not necessarily a priority at this time. It's getting everything else function, like all the primary stuff functioning. Anyway, so we just did a new level. Let's check. Another thing I haven't implemented yet, but I plan to, is alphabetizing this list. That's mostly a back-end thing, not something that you would easily see. But as you can see, we just did Z, Y, X, W, V. Did it in 41 seconds, and there you go. Shows up the whole list. But, yeah, that's what I have so far. I hope everybody enjoys watching this, and if you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and feel free to leave me some. Thank you for your time.